Hello and welcome to a premature evaluation for this game just came out called Phantom Trigger. It's the developers describe it as a hardcore neon slasher, and it definitely has all the markings of it. You got your neon, you got some slashing going on, and take it from me when I say it is definitely a hardcore game. With me as always, my partner in crime, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, John Tar here, the normal voice of the channel.
Yeah, I'm actually guest appearing right now, even though I'm in the captain's seat. So let's take a look and see what this game has to offer, because
Tell us about
it's got some interesting stuff going on. I think it has some cool stuff. So you have your kind of basic weapons here. I was trying to find some enemies to fight. So you have this kind of I'm using the controller right now, the Xbox Elite controller, and you have this kind of quick slash you can kill people with. It's kind of effective. If you press Y, you have this kind of long range whip that you can pull enemies towards you with, and then your B attack is a kind of heavy, slow, claw-like thing. And the colors of those actually matter a lot, because there'll be situations in the game you'll come across different puzzles or even different enemy types that require you to use those different colors to interact with those objects.
Okay.
So you have to be paying attention to the color of the enemy. Sometimes the enemies will be glowing a certain color, and so you can only damage them with that certain type, or there'll be an object to interact with. But
so you have to match the colors essentially.
Yeah,
it's
so
not like they're weak to that color; they're immune to that color.
Yeah, like they straight up will not take damage to not that color.
Got it.
And you say matching the color, like there are literally Simon Says mini games where you have to beat some sticks in a certain order of the color that they appear. So this is right here is exactly what I'm talking about. See, these guys are glowing blue right now, and this kind of monitor up top is showing the color. I don't know what the white color is. I think they're just immune to everything. But it'll flash between different colors, so now I can damage them with my pink. I'm gonna actually die here. This game is really difficult. If I want to get something out of the way, like this game is really like I'm spawning on top of enemies. Like it's really, really hard. Mostly because the enemies have no poise. If you ever played a Dark Souls game before, you know that if you go up to an enemy and you try to attack them, a lot of times you kind of break their stance and stagger them. You can't do that in this
stun
in that
lock
game.
them
Yeah,
for a minute.
yeah, that doesn't happen in this game. So if you're thinking like, oh, you know, I'll just spam this attacks on this guy and hopefully kill him or whatever, you're gonna take damage like every time. Like, if you're trying to get more than like 3 attacks in, you're just going to take damage. And I highly recommend using a controller for this game.
Okay.
If you use a keyboard, you can go up. I'm actually switching the keyboard. You can go left, right, up, down, the 4 cardinal directions, and then diagonals on those as well. But that's it. You can only move those 8 directions. You can only attack in those 8 directions as well. But if you use the controller, you can actually move around in a circle, and you can kind of attack in every direction. Like, it is a little bit better. Like, it's not, like, amazing, but it is definitely so much better to attack in all the directions. And there are these green little objects you
So
can
controller required, basically.
I would say heavily recommended, at the very least. Because it literally limits, like, your ability to fight enemies. Like, it's kind of annoying.
So, while you're fighting this group of enemies here, this game is produced by Bread Team. They've only done one other game so far, called Divide by Sheep. It's a little puzzler indie game as well. Not nearly as difficult as this. So this is $15 on the Switch and on the PC as well. And just from what I've read on the forums so far, there are quite a few issues with the Switch version as well. So might wait for a patch for that to come out before you really dive into that.
I also have this nice little dash here that's really useful, and there doesn't appear to be any sort of limitations on when I can use it, cooldowns, anything like that. But I just ran into an issue where I just died, where I didn't have my dash for some reason, and I couldn't dash. And that's kind of one of the big problems I have with this game is, if you ever played a Dark Souls game or anything like a Soulsborne series, they don't really tell the player a lot. Like, you know, things like what certain items do. But like even then, like, they tell you what certain items do. They give you information on that. But like, there's no waypoints. There's no objectives. This game is even worse than that. There's no map. There's no. Oh God. There's no map. There's no waypoints. You can activate items, and you have no idea what they do because it doesn't tell you anything. Like it's really, really limited on the information that it tells the player. And so if you hit if you hit backspace or the back button, you have these different combos that you unlock. And again, it's kind of random when you unlock these. There are different kind of obelisks that you can pray in front of, and you unlock some things sometimes. Again, I don't really tell you much, but you have these different combos, and some of them are actually starting to get really interesting and rather good. So this one combo here, I can go XXB, and I can send out these kind of boomerang type things, and you get really fancy with them and dodge away and actually redirect to the direction that they move.
Okay.
And they're fairly effective. Like they kind of loop around, and you can use your dash in cute little ways. But the problem is, like, these combos, like, I don't know if the combos are better than just slashing away and just like doing the hit and run, dash in, get one hit, dash out. Like these combos, these 3-hit combos, like you'll never be getting 3 hits off in quick succession under like not even a passive play style, but just like you have to play passively to be able to survive because you just take so much damage.
You don't have the time to pull off a full 3-hit combo.
Yeah, like
you're,
because there's no
or
poise.
you're gonna take too much damage.
Yeah, like if you can't stagger them, so if you're just trying to get off a 3-hit combo, you're just gonna take damage every time.
And there's like 6 guys in this tiny little room here, so you're just jumping in, getting 1 hit, backing out, taking another, like jumping away, just doing like quick little hit and run tactics.
Yeah, like it's it's kind of brutal, really.
And from what I can tell, there's no enemy health bars or anything like that?
Nope, no indication of health or even strength or anything like that. The only thing that pops up is the numbers on how much damage you're doing. And even then, like, if I hit back again, you can see I have the different levels in the middle of my screen. Level 5 for my blue attack, 4, 3 for the other ones. And I don't know what those levels do. Like, it doesn't increase my damage. Like, the numbers that I hit enemies with has never increased. It's always been 30 for the blue, and then or 20 for the blue for certain enemies. I guess it changes, but like I haven't seen any noticeable upgrades in those things at all.
So they seem to be, like you mentioned a couple times, taking a big bite out of, or they're following the Dark Souls formula by hiding and obfuscating a lot of critical information, but it's almost too much.
I would say it's definitely too much.
Okay. Because you're not, like, finding opportunities to learn from your mistakes or grow or even...
Yeah, I'll just be like, oh, hey, what does this do? And I'll, like, this is this obelisk here that I'm in front of. I've already activated it, but, you know, you kneel in front of it and activate it, and then you get some flashing lights, and that's it. There's no text on screen like, oh, new power unlocked, or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be that overt, but there's just nothing it tells you.
Interesting. Are there boss fights or anything like that?
There is. As far as I know, the game is kind of broken up into different zones. So this is the second zone in the game. The first zone was a kind of lava, kind of hot planet, or whatever environment it was. And there was a boss at the end of that zone, which brought me back to the hub world, which I hope we will get to see, but I kind of doubt it. And then it brings you back to the hub world, and there are NPCs around there, like, you know, much like a Dark Souls game. Going around talking to NPCs, and I don't even know if... Can I even damage these guys? I don't even know how upgrades and things like that work, because I've done one zone in the game and like nothing's unlocked or anything. Like there's a very obvious blacksmith-like character who has told me like, hey, if you find me some flint out in the world, then I can do some stuff for you. And I have the flint in my inventory here. If I can mouse over here, yeah, I have the flint in my inventory, and hopefully we can get back and see what he says. But there's some actually really interesting, maybe not character development, but there's some interesting stories that go on between the hub characters. There's another character, a rabbit, like literally a giant rabbit character, who said, if you bring me some spices, then I'll cook you some food. But there's another character who said, hey, I want you to kill that rabbit for me. So there's definitely I think there's some choices that can be made. I don't know how to damage these guys. I think there's some choices how to be made on how to, like who to kill.
Running from these guys for a minute, and they haven't lost their white permanent immunity?
Yeah, like I can't, there's no way for me to damage these guys.
Okay,
I don't really know what to do here. Like again, like I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like there's nothing for me to hit. Like these guys are taking damage. Like the game could just be bugged. I have run into several progression-breaking bugs before. There's one where a door refused to unlock even when I was doing the correct Simon Says sequence. Like it just wasn't working. And another one where
this looks like it's bugged right now. You maybe kill yourself to
I guess
like
yeah
respawn out.
Like this is pretty brutal. Yeah, this game is definitely not bug free. I've definitely run into a couple progression breaking bugs. Nothing that a quick reset wouldn't fix, but still, it's kind of annoying.
No progression erasing or game breaking bugs, but just temporary annoyances, I guess.
Yeah, which is actually, it's good that the save system in this game is so forgiving. Like these little pads are...
So there's
like
nothing that you
pads.
lose when you die. It's just
no, I don't even think there's a currency in this game. Like, I don't, like the only items you're picking up are the items that the NPCs in the hub world want, and as far as I know, those items are what you're using as like a trading like currency. Like there's no like, oh, you're getting gold, you're getting whatever. It's just like, oh, hey, if you give me this item, I'll give you some of this. You know what I mean?
Oh, but there's no way to fast travel to the hub world between or like at any time. You have to wait until you finish the major section.
Yeah, so there's no way to get back out. I have to complete this area and not die to do it.
Oh.
And beat the boss at the end of it as well. Or I assume there's a boss at the end.
And those little glowing, I guess, blue squares with a little pointing arrow on it, those are checkpoints throughout the level?
Yeah, and they actually refill your health up to full, which is really nice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're your last kind of checkpoint there, and you'll respawn there when you die with full health.
Interesting. Well, it seems like it's got a very interesting graphic style, and I haven't played Hyper Light Drifter, but I've seen a lot of comparisons being made to Hyper Light Drifter for this game.
It's very similar. Like the same thing with Hyper Light. You have your dash, you have your kind of your ranged pistol, which I guess counts as the whip in this game. It's a very similar game, and the art style is. It is very good, but it is very similar.
Okay, so if you haven't played Hyper Light Drifter, you would recommend that over Phantom Trigger?
I would only recommend this game if you've played Hyper Light and wanted something even more difficult.
Okay. Interesting.
But this game has a really nice aesthetic style to it. Like, I think it has a great visual graphics. I think the audio is really good as well. Like, when I'm, slashing with my sword here, you can kind of hear, like, a kind of... Or even all my weapons that have, like, a kind of guitar riffy kind of cadence to it, which is really cool. And it just kind of feels really... It has a good feel to it. The flow of the gameplay, I think, is actually pretty good. It's just really rough around the edges. As just an overall...
feeling.
Yeah, just as an overall player experience, it just doesn't feel rewarding to play because I just don't really know what's going on. I just feel like I'm fighting for survival and just kind of struggling my way through things.
Oh, that's too bad to hear. Is there anything else that you wanted to add? I feel like you've kind of pretty clearly shared your opinion on the game.
Yeah, I really wanted to like this game because it does have some really cool things going for it, but and the devs have been patching things in. They upgraded their controller support, or at least have improved controller support, which, like I said, really improves the game. And again, I'm in this room and I don't know what to do.
A bunch of invincible enemies and no way to attack them because the three colors are what, blue, red, and like yellow for the three different weapons.
Yeah, I think I just found out what I had to do.
Oh.
So since beforehand, since that pillar I just broke. I broke it before the room locked the first time, and it didn't come back up. So I basically sequence broke the game. So there it goes. Now it's fixed. But it's little things like that. Like I completely screwed myself earlier, and I had no idea. And it happens a lot in this game, and I don't think that's very good. And if there's anything to, I don't know, showcase what the game is like, that's pretty much it. You'll be screwing yourself over and dying a lot in this game.
Yeah. How was the first boss fight? Was that memorable at all, or fun, or challenging? It
actually wasn't too bad. It actually utilizes this kind of green thing. So there's things on the floor here. Let's see if I can find another one. These kind of green markers on the ground. You can whip them and use your directional pad or your mouse to kind of aim and direct it as a projectile. And basically the boss would drop like these molten cores, and you would whip the cores and aim the core back at him and explode him with his own cores.
Oh.
So there was actually some interesting mechanics going on in the boss fight. I actually enjoyed the boss fight quite a bit. It was pretty fun. Like it was definitely fast paced, but it wasn't overly difficult, which is interesting. But getting to the other boss fights might not even be possible. Like this game's really hard.
Yeah, it seems like you're just kind of wandering aimlessly at this point.
Yeah, like there's no map, there's no waypoint. Like I have here. I'll kill these guys and I'll talk to this NPC here because I do have an objective that I should be working towards.
So those guys are white now. Is there another? Oh no, they're not like permanently white. They're just changing colors.
Yeah, so this
Like,
monitor at
as
the top of the
fight goes
room
on.
here is what's dictating the colors. Like it's a Simon Says
Oh.
like death chamber or something.
Oh, okay. Are there? So it seems like there's no cooldowns whatsoever for any of the weapons or any of the dashes or combos, and there's no like magic meter for the. I don't know. There's no.
I don't think so. There's
mana
absolutely
or something
nothing.
Like
Like
that?
there's no indication of downsides of weapon. The only thing on screen is, let's see if I can find this NPC in the top left. Oh, this fucking area. The top left above my or below my health bar, you see that the 3 bars, the green, red, and blue bars. Those are basically the upgrade bars for those abilities and their weapons.
Oh, okay.
So once you max out a bar, you get a level. But again, no idea what the levels do or how they help me or what. So I
Or if
assume
you're
they're good
spending
things.
points or anything.
Yeah, like there's absolutely nothing. There's 2 screens in the option menu and that's it. I just want to kill these guys and talk to this NPC because she does give me a pseudo quest to be doing.
Okay. If you can kill these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not busting your balls. I've
It's
seen you
pretty
like
difficult.
fight in this room a couple times, and it's like, there's no gimmies, even with these relatively small-looking enemies. I would call them like they're not. There's like even in Dark Souls when you first struggle against like the very beginning early enemies in the game. After a while, you come back and then you just absolutely destroy them. But it seems like in this,
Everybody's a threat all the time.
everybody's a threat all
There's
the time.
never a time where I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna be easy to kill. It's like every enemy takes like 5-6 hits to kill, and they'll throw you half a dozen enemies at you at once in small little rooms. So you're just constantly dashing, hitting one hit, and dashing one hit, and it's kind of a nightmare. So I can talk to this NPC, and there is some other dialogue here, but now it's just telling me what I need to gather: a wick, some cardboard, and nitroglycerin. And I'm assuming she's gonna make a bomb and blow this gate up. I have the nitroglycerin here. I don't know where the other objects are. I have to keep exploring. But I've been on this level for probably an hour, 2 hours, and I can't find anything because I just keep dying. Because even when you die, it resets all those little monster closet rooms where they lock you in. So and there are areas of the game where you have to pass through those rooms, and so you have to get locked in, and you have to fight those waves of enemies. And it's really annoying and really not fun.
Well, that's unfortunate. I guess thank you for spending your time and sharing your opinions on Phantom Trigger with us.
It's not all bad, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's rough around the edges.
Yikes. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Use a controller if you want to play.
Use
this
a
game.
controller. Okay. All right.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I don't think you introduced yourself at the beginning.
Oh,
of the video.
I am Human Killer X. I've been with I don't want to say with the site, but I've been around the site for quite a long time. Some of you might recognize me.
Yeah. You've been joining. You've joined in on many streams over the years, and yeah, now starting to contribute, which I really appreciate. So,
Oh joy.
I mean, yeah. Well, like this is not a great first experience.
Someone's got to do
that's
it. Right?
how sometimes these indie games work, I guess. Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and well, thank you, Human Killer, for showing us the game. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more premature evaluations and quick looks into games like this. Thanks for watching, and game on.
Game on.